My name is Armando Rodriguez Jr. The band I'm in is called Worst Behavior, and I joined in when it started 2016. I joined in 2016.
My name is Cesar Alejandro Izaguirre. I play in Worst Behavior, and I joined in 2018.
My name's Brian. I'm the co-founder of Worst Behavior and stated in 2016.
My name's Christian Espinosa. My band's Worst Behavior, and I joined in 2016.
Worst Behavior is a hardcore punk crossover project from South Texas, and we play fast, loud, aggressive rock and roll music.
Some of the songs we have are called Curses,
Isolation,
Banished from Death,
Second Skin,
No Escape,
and The Reasons Why.
Well, look at ADR. They scream and they sing. Maybe you should get some singing lessons.
Yeah,
and they have a song with Marshmello.
Yeah, but I didn't remember it started like at literally nothing.
That's what I
Like
tried.
playing 10 people shows in fucking Pensacola. And then like they started playing like tours, playing to like 5 people like somewhere else, and then that's how you get bigger. Like
That's what I was saying. I was like,
Yeah.
my band was supposed to go on tour, but COVID hit, and then they're like, well, there's TikTok, and like, I'm not getting on fucking TikTok to promote shit, man.
yeah, TikTok is not our demographic.
And I was like, exactly, and and plus the algorithm is gonna be against us, cause like that shit's gonna like,
We're gonna just fall.
it's gonna be weird, man. You gotta know the algorithm.
And I don't want to be cringy making TikToks.
Exactly. I don't want to.
My bandmates are great. Chris is great. He's like a tech whiz at a lot of things. Brian, he's a funny guy.
No, yeah, they're all very special. Danny is like the brain of the operation. Sweet guy, very serious, but awesome dude.
Caesar is the idea guy. He has songs and like built in his brain.
I love them all. They're all good. They're not just bandmates. They're my friends. We talk like every day in our group chat. Talk shit and all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, I can't ask for better bandmates.
Video. Mando.
Killed me.
Yo grito. Oye, compadre, eches un grito.
That wasn't good.
El compadre, eches un grito.
And then Mando, who's a great vocalist and a great friend who I can like literally just talk to whenever I want. Besides that, they're all just good friends, okay? First of all, they're good friends, and then they just happen to be great bandmates.
Well, the hardcore scene, I got into it because of Danny. I went to a show here a long time ago. It was a show, it was Joliet from Mexico, Colonia from San Antonio, and it was Program and Ingray. And when I saw Program and Ingray, I was hooked. So that was in 2015, 2016, around there. So from 2015 to now, I've been listening to hardcore punk. And it's basically just opened the book on not only just hardcore and punk, but other softer sides of music.
So, like, I mean, I grew up listening to, like, a lot of, like, the, like, you know, like, the neon era scene, pop punk, hard, you know, like, metalcore, post-hardcore stuff. So, like, naturally, it evolved from, like, I went from, like, the least serious stuff to, like, more metalcore serious, kind of more heavy stuff, and then Around 2017 is when I like really fell into like listening to like a lot of hardcore stuff.
Just randomly found this band called Poison the Well, and all those Trust Kill record bands, like Most Precious Blood and all those, and just went through like a wormhole through there, and then Hate Breed and Perseverance came out. I was maybe like in 8th grade, and then yeah, just like went off from there, man. To this day.
I haven't been into the hardcore scene too long, probably around 2012, 2013, and around 7th grade, I got like an iPod, one of the big ones, the classic, with like 100 gigs, which was like huge at the time. And my dad's friend put a bunch of music in my iPod, and then like I was already into heavy music when I was in 7th grade, so I found this band called Earth Crisis on the iPod, and there was a song called Firestorm, and like that was insane to me. These random songs on my iPod was like life-changing.
Man, like Chelsea Grin or Amir Oceano, Within the Ruins. I mean, seeing those bands like live, it's just like, wow, I want to play on the stage and do crazy things and, you know, be with my friends, make music. Kind of inspired me to want to tour. Even when I was a little kid, I always wanted to like do something in music. Man, do you have time for a story or?
We got time for stories, whatever.
Huh?
Tell them why you're mad.
Because they won't sell me fucking hash browns.
Hash brown.
They won't sell me hash browns.
Better be careful.
They can't add hash browns to your burger?
Can I get a number 1? And can you add jalapenos and fajita veggies?
Did you want the grilled jalapenos or sliced?
Grilled jalapenos. Oh, sorry, sliced.
Sliced, okay. And fajita veggies, right?
Yes. And can you replace the patty with hash browns?
With hash browns, so like no meat, that
Yeah.
hash browns instead?
Tell him he's vegan.
He's vegan. Stop.
Yeah.
Chris, I was just joking about the whole thing. I
don't want to hear. I don't want to hear a goddamn word, Brian.
We played in Dallas we're supposed to play at a house show. So I had booked the rooms, right? I booked the rooms for this Dallas show. They were pretty cheap. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Cheap rooms, right? Like, no big deal.
And we had gotten off in the from the car, and when we pulled up, everything seemed normal. It was just like a motel, right? You know, there's cars outside. We didn't think much of it.
The area is not so nice. It's a pretty rough area. And over the course of a few hours, we quickly found out that we were in a trap motel. Because we noticed that there's people standing on like one side and the other side of the motel, right? And when we got there, we were just like, whatever, you know, people hanging out. Fuck it, you know?
So we start getting off, and we notice that the person from on top of the ceiling, or from the ceiling, on top of on the second row of the balcony, looks down, and is like really eyeing down our female friend here. And we hear like a whistle, like look at this kind of thing, right?
And that whistle is just to notify the people on the top balcony that to look at what they got, or I don't know, like, hey, there's people coming, like, see what they're doing.
Like, we're just kind of like, okay, I'll walk past that guy. We notice a dude at the end of the balcony. He's on the phone, just eyeing down like all 4 of us, right? Just like dead stare, like looking at us.
So as the day progressed, me and Brian, we went to a fucking McDonald's that's combined with a gas station, which was kind of odd, in my opinion. I don't know. I've never seen a McDonald's with a gas station attachment. And the dude in front of us is talking to himself, like he has different shoes on. He's whacked out of his mind. I mean,
like we know that something's like not going on right here. We call our friends. We call Danny. We call Chris. We call Brian. We're like, guys, something sketchy going on here. We don't feel safe.
And then we get word that someone knocked on our other car's door. The other people, like our other room, like people who were staying there, they got a knock on their door. It was really weird. And then they left to go to Guitar Center or something.
Went to Guitar Center, and we found out on the way out, when we were leaving, we noticed that there was, on the other side of the motel, there was cars pulling in and out like a drive-through, just one by the other. One would take off, and then one would come behind it. Some guy would walk out from the front of the motel, go up to the car, do like a little something, and then walk back, and then take off. And then another car would pull up, so another dude would come right back out, and then like a girl or a guy would come out. We'll talk a little something, and then they would take off, and I was just like, all right, yeah, no, something's going on here.
I got a call, and they're basically saying, hey, man, we're going to get another hotel because this place is sketch. So then I do some digging, and it turns out we're in a trap motel because of the reviews and people leaving these horrible, horrible reviews on this hotel that I missed, apparently. We're leaving. I was getting my refund, and then we got in the cars, and we look up because we're on the second story. Well, we were on the second story. I look up, and people were already like in our room trying to see what we left. Me being a dumbass, I left my pillow somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah.
So to whoever has my pillow in Dallas, I hope you're happy. But that's not the end of that day. It gets worse. So we're supposed to play at this house show, right? It's been around maybe 2-3 months. It's already been talked about. So we're thinking, oh, these dudes been promoting it. We've been promoting it. It's like, it's going to be a good show. House show. It's be kind of crazy. We get to the house show. Boom. 2 hours pass. Nobody. So then the promoters there, they're like making convo and that. And we're like, hey, so what's going to happen, guys? Oh, sorry, man. No show today. No, sorry. Nothing. So then they handed us off to another promoter that night. And we ended up playing a grindcore show in Dallas. And those dudes were pretty sick, man. It was honestly a game changer seeing grindcore and but true grindcore, like old fashioned, like grindcore. If like hearing it's one thing, but seeing it live is a whole fucking game changer, bro. I mean, shout out to the people in Noisier. Shout out to like the dirty deadbeat grinders over there. Those dudes, they fucking grind, bro. That shit was heavy.
Another fun show is probably the Power Trip one as well. Like that band we wouldn't exist if it wasn't for them, to be honest.
My number one favorite show is playing with Power Trip.
One that I always look back to because I just always remember is when I went to go see Power Trip at Yerberia Cultura.
Power Trip's probably my favorite band of all time. So sharing a stage with like one of like my idols was amazing to me.
I feel like that show specifically, I felt more like just like the energy that they were giving off, the way that they played, everything is just like, I felt like they knew that they were in the hot seat that day and they were playing like against one of like their, not against, but like with one of their biggest I mean, you ask anybody in Texas, Power Trip is, at least to our generation, you know, like 20, 21, 22, 23, whatever. That is the biggest name in Texas hardcore. So like, I mean, and not just that, it's just like one of these guys' biggest inspirations. I felt like it almost felt like they were playing on fire that fucking day. Like a fire was lit onto their ass. And like, I don't know, it was just like that show specifically, it really did feel like the energy and the people around it, everybody was going off. So it was just, they were one of those memorable ones for sure.
Like I was dead nervous, but like hearing one of my idols like tell me that was a great set right after we played was just like amazing to me, and I'll never forget that.
In 2016, we went to go see Power Trip and Red Death, and in San Antonio, and Chris got his leg bit in the mosh pit.
Yes, I got bit in the leg.
I think that was like the most funniest, like craziest thing I've ever seen. He has a scar, so whenever you asked you about it, I think that's how COVID started, in my opinion.
Aracnido opened up, and we opened up for Power Trip back in a few, maybe 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we opened up Power Trip, and man, that show was a blast. Rest in peace to Riley. Riley Gale forever.
Benefit hardcore shows is where the community works together to raise awareness and funds like our things of our choosing, whether it be reproductive rights, gay rights, social rights, like someone has cancer, someone died. We just raise money to like help those causes.
In hardcore, there seems to be a lot of political leanings to some of the things. So like, for example, you know, just like getting people out and voting. For example, we did the Bernie Sanders rally, getting people out there and voting, aware of you know, making people aware that you know, reproductive rights are like, you know, being taken, and like in Texas and particularly we live in like a very strict state, and you know how that affects us directly. And I feel like the hardcore scene really emphasizes on those topics, and I feel like it's something that whether you wanted to or not, you couldn't escape like the benefit show. Like it's almost like a part of, you know, like the MO of this thing.
It's good that we're giving back, we're raising money for a good cause, and also it's giving us like a stage to, you know, represent ourselves. Like, oh, like there's a hardcore band. What's hardcore? I don't know. This band's a hardcore band. They're called Worst Behavior. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like, there's a hardcore scene down here. There's a metal scene, a rock scene down here. That's cool. Let me talk to these dudes. Oh, and then from there it opens up a whole range of, you know, great things. The shows we've played probably were Justicia, things for Black Lives Matter, women's rights. We played a women's rights show once, which was really cool. We played the Bernie show. You know, we played a lot of shows for good causes, and it feels good to like, you know, just raise awareness and show people like, hey man, like there's a progressive movement down here, and it's good to be a part of it, you know.
COVID impacted our band definitely, because we were practicing at least, you know, 2-3 times a month, if possible, when possible. So like, you know, that at least the practicing schedule has definitely like slowed down.
We would jam out a lot, hang out a lot, do a lot of shit together. But since COVID hit, we hardly see each other. We talk to each other on text and stuff, and we text each other, call each other. That's pretty much it. We haven't jammed in months.
It's impacted our band heavily because I mean we don't play shows anymore. It's hard for us to get together and practice. We all have different schedules, which has always been a problem, but now it's even a bigger problem because we don't want to like risk catching COVID, like spreading it to our families. And we were set to record probably around this time, and that's not happening right now because we haven't practiced, and we don't have any songs to write. Also, we're supposed to go on tour during the summer, and that's not happening either, or that didn't happen. We had also planned for a winter tour, and that's not going to happen either, obviously. So it's impacted our band heavily. We all do our own thing. Caesar and I both go to school. Brian works. Mondo works. Danny also goes to school and works. So we just try to keep busy. But we still also all work on music, kind of, just not as heavily.
Or, you know, individually, we've been doing a lot of like little demoing here and there, you know, ideas, writing them down, stuff like that. But unfortunately, like the creative process did kind of take a little bit of a slowdown. But I feel like the progress that we're starting to pick up on and like, you know, building up on for next year is going to be a lot better. But yeah, COVID really did slow down and mess up a lot of our plans. But it's not like it's only delayed them. It's not necessarily like stopped anything. What are we doing now? Again, writing a lot just at home on our own. Hardcore for me is special because the sense of community I believe like that comes from the scene is I feel like there you can really get lost with like a lot of the talking points and all the surface stuff, but like when it comes to when you meet people that are really invested in like the music aspect of it and like the show aspect of it, it's the community sense, like people that genuinely nerd out about stuff that they like, you know. I don't know, I feel like people that are into it are really into it, and people that don't understand hardcore just don't. And like if you don't understand it, it's okay. You don't need to understand. It's not for you. Yeah.
It's special to me because I mean, it's my life. I mean, I live and breathe this like every day, like, and it keeps me sane too, like from normality. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I don't know. It's if it wasn't for this music, I don't know where the hell I'd be, to be honest. Like, but it's very important to me.
This music genre is special to me because I don't see it as a genre. I see it as a community. As a community where people work together and have like a common goal. And like guidelines to live by, kind of. Whether it be like help your fellow man, like the social, like the political aspect of it, which is kind of weird, but everyone kind of has the same like beliefs on that, like where everyone should be helped.
It's special to me because it's not just a genre. Hardcore is more of a lifestyle. Like you live it. Like from a good friend of mine taught me this. My friend Thomas from El Paso, he's in Barbarian. He told me this. He's like, hardcore is about never giving up on yourself, never giving up on your friends, and never giving up on like your community. And I've always think about that every time like I'm in the spot. I'm like, I have hardcore. Like if nobody has my back, or if I'm in a tough situation, I got this music, you know, like I got something to get me through the day, something to listen to and just chillax to, or just, you know, just pass the time with. It's not a phase. Like I'm not gonna drop out or anything, you know. I mean, this is kind of how I live. It's just a true like thing that I just happen to love doing with my friends who are on the same page as me, you know. It's nothing crazy. It's the way I live, and some people don't get it. Like I tell them like how it is, how I do things, and they think I'm stupid, and that's okay, you know, because it's not a genre. It's a lifestyle, and people might think that's corny, but you know, whatever. People always gonna say shit. Shout out to Texas Hardcore. Shout out to Valley Texas Hardcore. Riley Gale forever. Wade forever from Iron Age. Rest in peace to them. Black Lives Matter. And also, one other thing, man. Born to lose and live to win. All I gotta say.
We haven't jammed in months. I mean, we did some things here and there. You know, Mondo works with his Halloween store and his store.
Tell them where I work.
Oh shit, sorry. What's it? Halloween store? Okay, yeah, let's do that one again. Well, yeah, mine owns a Halloween store and a pants store. Chris is doing his IT thing. Caesar's like being a nurse, saving lives and stuff. And I work for the hospitals, delivering stuff. So yeah.
Danny?
And Danny's a bodybuilder.
Security?
The security for J Balvin.
What'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? Security for J Balvin? Security for J Balvin?
Backstory. Me and Danny were roadies for J. there's a tie-in to that story.